In the dawn of civilization, along the fertile banks of the Nile, a new kind of power was forged. This is the story of a king who dared to claim the sun itself, a ruler whose name has been whispered by the desert winds for millennia, yet remains shrouded in shadow. This is the story of Raneb, the forgotten pharaoh who may have been the first to link his mortal reign to the eternal power of a god. Welcome to the Second Dynasty of Egypt, a time of turmoil and transition. The unified kingdom, forged by the legendary rulers of the First Dynasty, was still a fragile concept. The pharaohs who followed faced the monumental task of holding together a realm of two lands, Upper and Lower Egypt. It was a period teetering on the edge of chaos, a time when royal authority needed more than just mortal strength to survive. Our story begins in the early 28th century BC, after the reign of Hatshepsut, who likely reunited a divided Egypt. A new king ascended the throne. His name was Raneb. In the grand timeline of pharaohs, his reign was brief, perhaps lasting only a decade or two. Yet, the impact of his rule would echo through 3,000 years of Egyptian history. To understand his significance, we must first understand his name. In ancient Egypt, a name was not merely a label. It was an identity, a destiny, a statement of power. Raneb's Horus name, the primary name of the king, was Nebra. It translates to Lord of the Sun. This was a revolutionary declaration. Before Raneb, kings were primarily associated with the falcon god Horus, the divine embodiment of kingship on earth. But by taking the name Nebra or Raneb, meaning Ra is my lord, this pharaoh made a profound and unprecedented theological statement. He was aligning himself, for the first time in such an explicit way, with the supreme power of the sun god, Ra. Ra was the creator deity, the source of all light and life. By incorporating Ra into his royal identity, Raneb wasn't just claiming to be a king, he was claiming a divine partnership. He was suggesting that his authority didn't just come from earthly conquest or lineage, but from the heavens themselves. Why would he do this? The Second Dynasty was a murky and politically uncertain era. We have evidence of internal strife, possibly between the North and the South. By linking his rule to the universal, life-giving power of the sun, Raneb was creating a powerful ideology. The pharaoh was no longer just a terrestrial ruler. He was the earthly representative of the cosmic order, an anchor of stability in a world of chaos. This divine connection elevated the king above mere mortals and potential rivals. It was a masterstroke of political theology, a way to legitimize and centralize power during a period when it was desperately needed. This concept would become a cornerstone of Egyptian kingship for the rest of its long history. Later pharaohs would even call themselves Son of Ra, a tradition that began with Raneb's audacious claim. Yet, for a king who made such a monumental change, Raneb is a ghost in the historical record. Unlike the Great Pyramid builders who would follow, he left behind no colossal statues, no grand temples dedicated to his name. What we know of him comes from scattered and tantalizing clues. His name has been found on stone vessel fragments from the royal necropolis at Abydos and Saqqara. Most importantly, it appears on a single funerary stela, a simple but elegant stone marker found near a vast, mysterious underground gallery tomb at Saqqara. Archaeologists have debated for decades whether this tomb, known as Gallery B, was Raneb's final resting place. The sheer scale of its subterranean corridors is impressive, hinting at a significant royal burial, but the tomb is empty, plundered in antiquity, leaving us with more questions than answers. Another intriguing artifact is a rock carving found far to the east, in the Sinai Peninsula. It depicts the king performing a ritual, a testament to Egyptian expeditions into the desert to mine for valuable resources like turquoise and copper. This shows that despite the internal challenges, the kingdom under Raneb was organized enough to project its power beyond the Nile Valley. But these fragments are all we have. They are like single pieces of a vast, lost puzzle. We have no records of his family, his military campaigns, or the specific events of his reign. We see the profound ideological shift he initiated, but the man himself remains an enigma. His legacy is one of concept rather than stone. He planted a seed that would grow into the mighty tree of divine kingship. The idea that the Pharaoh was the living embodiment of a god on earth, the intermediary between humanity and the divine, became the bedrock of Egyptian society. It justified the state's absolute power, inspired the construction of the most ambitious monuments in human history, and shaped the spiritual beliefs of millions for centuries. And it all arguably began with this one simple, powerful name, Raneb. The mystery deepens when we consider his successor, Niger. The records from Ninetjer's reign hint at growing division and crisis. The Palermo stone, one of our key sources for this period, contains a cryptic entry suggesting a hacking up of the cities of Shemri and the House of the North. Many scholars interpret this as evidence of a civil war, a fracturing of the unity that Raneb and his predecessor had fought to maintain. It seems the divine authority Raneb had claimed was not enough to hold the kingdom together. The dark times he had staved off were now gathering on the horizon. The stability he sought to create was about to be shattered. Raneb's reign stands as a pivotal moment, a quiet revolution that forever altered the course of ancient Egypt. He was a king who understood that power was not just wielded with armies, but with ideas. He reached for the sun and, in doing so, changed what it meant to be a king. But his story is also a cautionary tale. Even divine authority could not entirely protect Egypt from the forces of chaos. The Second Dynasty's troubles were far from over. Raneb changed how Egyptian kings ruled, but the next ruler would push Egypt into even darker times, setting the stage for a dramatic conflict that would once again threaten to tear the two lands apart. The story of the Second Dynasty is just beginning. To uncover what happened next and to explore the mysteries of the kings who followed Raneb into the growing darkness, make sure you subscribe and join us on this journey into the shadows of ancient Egypt. Thank you for watching.